Have you ever thought about why we collect certain things like matchbooks, beer cans, baseball cards?
It's mysterious, the things which strike our fancy. Oklahoma traveler Scott Thompson and photographer Grant Durandale meet some quirky Kiwi collectors at opposite ends of New Zealand. They're in Bluff and Whangarei.
At the very southern tip of New Zealand, across the street from the Pacific Ocean, families beat a path to a quaint little bungalow. Enveloped in Polynesian organ music, there's a pool of plastic ducks, and a zodiac clock, and a big emu. This is Fred and Myrtle Flutey's place.
A lovely couple, Fred and Myrtle. So when you go and introduce yourself and tell them where you're from. And
turns out Myrtle was expecting us to lead us through the collection Kiwis find really cool.
Well, show us what you got.
Well, there's shells everywhere, and there's a lovely lot of shells from all over here. You know, we've been round the Pacific Islands and that, and got a lot of shell there.
So this is kind of a documentation of your travels, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Wherever the Fluteys found themselves all these years, they'd bring back a shell or 20, put them out, and invite folks in.
And they're from all over. We decided to do that, name them all and everything, but we found out after a while we didn't have the room, so we had to knock off.
So now the Fluteys have added pens to their collection and strung them beneath the ceiling. The big draw, however, is the Paua Shell Lounge. That's where we found Fred holding forth in his recliner.
Fred, nice to meet you.
He's got a transistor there, you see. He goes to sleep on it at times. Now, these are the American men that rang us, taking the films.
Yeah. From Oklahoma.
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 Never heard of the place.
He has, of course. Well, at least he's heard of Texas. A visitor scribbled it on a napkin and sent it in. Naturally, the Fluteys hung it up.
Fred polishes the Paua shell. No jokes. Not allowed today.
Well, what do you two think about all the people coming through your house all the time?
We love it.
Gentlemen, there's no house in the world ever do what we doing. You come in that door, you turn the key off in the car, and you walk in.
Everybody's made welcome,
yeah.
And we love doing it.
This is a collection you see on this wall you won't see anywhere else in the world.
The Fluteys have long been taken by the color of the Paua shell. The creature dies and sunlight creates a rainbow of hues on the shell. Fred polished and hung his first in 1961.
We started with 25 and finished up with 1,170 when the room was full. So all the walls were covered then. Beautiful.
In '63, Fred and Myrtle opened the house for tours, and they've never closed since.
Good afternoon. Just come on in and have a look round.
Every day but Christmas for 32 years, tourists have tramped through the house, and in recent years they've been leaving behind business cards.
We love the company, and we love meeting all the people, and there's nobody turned away.
The Fluteys have had such a positive influence on New Zealand that Queen Elizabeth gave them a medal. And they're so famous, New Zealand's biggest bakery used them in a bread commercial.
The overseas Paua, the abalones. And these shells are from around the Pacific Islands.
The Fluteys never expected to be tourist guides. Myrtle, 84 years old, is quite happy just showing off the shells. And Fred, 91, entertaining the children.
They enjoy it, even the little wee tots. We recognise everybody. We're up early in the morning and ready for 9 o'clock. We're all tidied up and everything. And it's just something to look forward to every day.
When it's 9 a.m. at Fred and Myrtle's, no one knows what time it is up north in Whangarei at the Clapham Clock Museum. 2,000 antique timepieces, each set at a different minute, to protect the ears of guide Buzz Erickson.
If they all went off at once, I think it would be like a little earthquake in here, and we'd have to leave the building.
A collection begun by railroad engineer Archie Clapham, given to the city when he died.
You'd set the time that you wished to get up, and then in the morning, the little monk down below here would go like the clappers like that, get you up out of bed. You're all being watched here. You see the little moving eyes inside that one? This one from about 1890. And these were used in the old days for clocking on when you got to work. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse runs up the clock, and the date here, 1720. So this is nearly 300 years old. Still ticking away. Never have any trouble with that one. Let's have a cuckoo or two. Here we go. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Buzz moves through the clocks like a sleek second hand, never missing a beat, always in a proper clockwise direction.
But what's unusual about this one is it's made of matches. About 100,000 matches. Boing.
Buzz never tires of talking of time.
But if I'm here on my own, time drags, if you don't mind the pun.
Every night before he goes home, Buzz stops each clock, the better to preserve these old relics. And every morning he starts each going again.
It's a shame, really, that we have to be ruled by the clock, but there we go. We are.
No, if Buzz didn't wear a wristwatch, he'd never know when to go to lunch, when to go home, when to expect the practical jokers.
They'll laugh, they'll stick their head in the door and say, oh, have you got the time, you know.
He does, of course, plenty of it. It's all around him. Time marches on. And Buzz makes sure it stays on schedule.
Made in about 1870.
In Whangarei, New Zealand, Scott Thompson, the Oklahoma Traveler.
Couple of great places we got to visit tonight.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Kiwis. They're very interesting. Have a lot of fun.
They do indeed.